I've always liked to create things. As a child it might have been a bit easier with like sewing things or creating things from fabrics, but eventually I discovered that you could sort of create things out of lumps of wood. So maybe it was the beauty of wood that first attracted me to carpentry. When I'm working with wood, or it's like any other creative endeavour, it's a meditative state for me, so you get lost in the moment. You might have a huge saw roaring in your ears, you know, it might be really noisy, there might be sawdust flying everywhere, but you just tune out everything else and you're in that creative state. I've spent the last 19 years breakdancing for a living, but when I started doing woodwork, I recognised the feeling that I got from it, which I absolutely didn't expect. I thought, oh, I'm interested in making this and, you know, learning how to do it, so that's what I did. And then 2 or 3 times later down the line, I realised that it was the same feeling when I'm dancing, that sort of when you're in the zone, when you're expressing yourself freely and without any restraint, or it just comes, it flows naturally. So for me, I find it a very therapeutic, meditative thing, and in being in that moment of creativity. So it's a really cathartic experience, and that's why I love doing it. Before my surgery to remove a brain tumour, I was very apprehensive, not just because of the surgery for obvious reasons and what the outcomes may or may not be, but I was worried that I wouldn't be able to dance, and I was worried that I wouldn't, you know, using great big machines and heavy lumps of wood, I was rather concerned about my creative future. And that was before the surgery. Immediately after the surgery, in my sort of convalescent state, it was the thing that spurred me on, other than my daughter, who was, you know, every day was the same for her, so her demands on me were the same. She's only 1. The need for creativity back in my life aided my recovery just as much as my daughter did, because my apprehension that I might not be able to do these things again before the surgery was quickly replaced by the desire to do so. So it was an amazing help. If I didn't have creativity in my life, then I wouldn't be a happy person. So that need to be creative and produce stuff around me, it's my journey. That drive to have creativity in my life is rewarding, is fulfilling. So I'm fulfilling myself. And if I wasn't doing that, then I wouldn't be a happy person, and I am. I think if you are that way inclined, it is vital. If you're not that way inclined, not everyone's got it. You know, people have a huge, varied spectrum of interests, but if you have that creative gene, I'm sure everyone's got it somewhere, whether you're finding if it's needlepoint or singing or, you know, any kind of creativity, but if you've got that in you and it can blossom like a flower, then it is a vital, vital part. And I just hope everyone who's got it finds out what it is that gets them mad open.